Los Angeles, the city of angels, haunted by its police force. Los Angeles, a city of glitz, glamour, and the ever-present shadow of police brutality. For decades, the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, has been at the center of some of the most shocking cases of excessive force, corruption, and abuse of power. These stories aren't just headlines, they're scars on the city's soul. Let's step into the darkness and revisit 5 of the most sensationalized cases that shook LA to its core. The beating of Rodney King, 1991. The spark of an uprising. It was a grainy, shaky video that changed everything. The year was 1991, and a man named Rodney King was driving home when LAPD officers pulled him over. What happened next became one of the most infamous moments in American policing. 4 officers swarmed King, unleashing a savage beating, batons crashing down on his body more than 50 times as he writhed on the pavement. Blow after blow, his screams echoed in the night. What they didn't expect? A bystander with a camcorder. The footage ignited national outrage. But when a nearly all-white jury acquitted the officers a year later, LA exploded into flames. The 1992 riots left 63 people dead, 2,300 injured, and the city smoldering in over $1 billion in damages. The message was clear. Justice denied could lead to chaos. Rampart Scandal, 1990s. A gang in uniform. Imagine an elite police unit that doesn't fight crime. It runs it. In the late 1990s, the LAPD's Rampart Division wasn't just dirty, it was a full-blown criminal enterprise. These were cops who stole millions of dollars in drugs and money, planted evidence, framed suspects, and even committed murder. The worst of them? Officer Rafael Perez, a man whose confessions would unravel one of the biggest law enforcement scandals in history. The unit, known as CRASH, Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums, operated like a gang, flashing their own hand signals, brutalizing suspects, and pocketing cash from drug busts. At least 70 officers were implicated, and over 100 convictions were overturned due to their corruption. It was the real-life training day, and Los Angeles was its stage. The murder of Oscar Grant, 2009. A shot in the back. It was New Year's Eve. Oscar Grant, 22, was heading home when a scuffle broke out on a BART train. Transit police arrived, dragging Grant and several others onto the platform. What happened next was pure horror. Video footage showed Officer Johannes Meserla pinning Grant down, drawing his gun, and firing a single shot into his back. Grant's body convulsed on the pavement, his friends screaming for help. The excuse? Meserla claimed he mistook his gun for his taser. The outrage was immediate. Protests erupted across the city. And when Meserla was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, rather than murder, the anger boiled over into riots. The echoes of Grant's final moments would haunt California for years to come. The killing of Ezell Ford, 2014. A mental health crisis turned fatal. Ezell Ford was unarmed, mentally ill, and just blocks from his home when 2 LAPD officers stopped him. He complied. He showed no aggression, yet within moments, he was on the ground with 3 bullets in his back. Witnesses say Ford posed no threat. The police say he reached for an officer's gun. The truth? Buried beneath conflicting reports, legal maneuvers, and yet another case of an officer walking free. His mother's words still haunt the city. They murdered my son. The killing of Andres Guardado, 2020. A death with no explanation. Andres Guardado was just 18 years old when he was shot 5 times in the back by an LA County Sheriff's deputy outside an auto body shop where he worked. His crime? Running when he saw officers approach. No body camera footage. No evidence of wrongdoing. Just an unarmed teenager lying dead in a pool of his own blood. The kicker? The deputy who shot him was part of a violent police gang known as the Executioners, a secret society within the Sheriff's Department with a track record of brutal killings. Guardado's death sent shockwaves through LA, sparking protests, lawsuits, and deeper investigations into the dark underbelly of law enforcement culture. Los Angeles, a city still fighting for justice. From Rodney King to Andres Guardado, Los Angeles has been the battleground for police accountability. The names change, the stories evolve, but the theme remains the same: power unchecked leads to tragedy. Reforms have come and gone, But the question lingers. How many more lives must be lost before real change takes hold? Los Angeles is just the beginning. Next, we take you into the bloody streets of Phoenix, where a police force under federal investigation fights to keep its secrets buried. Stay tuned. The truth is far from over.